Hello, our people. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is your boy again. So today we have a lot of things to talk about. Today, mainly the main part will be about steaming. Many people are facing that challenge of steaming. How do we perfectly steam our milk? How can we soil our milk in a perfect way? How can we turn it clockwise? How can we turn it anti-clockwise? So the best way to do it is gonna be the day. Don't miss. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment. Okay, today we'll start with our picture. This is the main part where all the magic starts from. So this is our picture, the one we use in stemming. So we're gonna start with the 3 mistakes people make when they are stemming. So this is the first one. So the first mistake people make is all about positioning. How do you position your picture when you're having the steam yard? And another mistake is the water into the steam yard. When you do like this, you fill the water. Most people start without purging out the water. So that's another mistake people make. Another mistake people make is after putting your milk into the pitcher, most people they put the milk like the steam yard on top of the milk. You cannot put the knob like on the top of the milk, the surface of the milk. So, and another mistake will be like people position the knob deep into the milk, which will create a bad texture. So let us collect those mistakes in one thing. Okay. The steaming, we shall be using our Al-Walabi milk. It's the double cream. This is among the best milk that you can ever use to have a good texture of milk. So let us start with the mistakes and collect them. Let us show you about the mistakes people make. So this is the first mistake. Don't forget to purge out the water. That's the first one. After purging out, look at the mistake. Most people position, most people position this in the middle of the what? Or in the middle of the picture. This one would you That's one will not call for the milk to rotate in the direction you want. I remember I told you about like milk rotating in the anti-clockwise and the clockwise. When we position in the middle, there will not be in direction the milk will be soiling. So let us try to see this one when we put into the middle. So our milk will just be bubbled and it will not have a texture. The foam will be on top and it will not be mixed with the milk. It's just creating the milk, like the milk to have its temperature, but there's a difference. If it was transparent, you could see that the milk is separated from the foam. So it will have, when you're making your latte art, it will affect it. So another thing, it will be about another mistake that people make when they're doing this one. So another mistake is this one. the angle of the angle of elevation where we put our knob. After putting it into our mill, like which angle do we put in? We put at the angle of 45 degrees. Look, on the sides and also not in the middle. Not in the middle and not on the walls of the picture. To cause this mill to rotate in the clockwise direction. For here it will rotate in the clockwise direction. When we rotate and put it on the side, on our left hand, it will rotate the anti-clockwise. So it's all about you, like what do you need? How do you need your milk to rotate? That's another mistake of not positioning it at this angle and not in the middle. Another mistake is putting the knob on the surface. When we put this one on the surface, look what will happen on the surface of the milk. Look, you feel? This is putting the knob on the surface of the milk. So it will create bubbles and even steaming. This is another mistake. When you put your steam yard on the surface of the milk, it will create this texture of milk. So this one, it will affect your latte art making. So this is another these are the next two mistakes. So let us have another mistake, the third one, then we collect. So another mistake, it will be about over putting the knob in deep into the milk. This one will cause less, it will create less foam, it will cause less air intake into our milk. So it will cause less air intake, which will affect the foam making of our milk. So like the soiling will be in a good way, but the foam, it will not have any foam onto the milk. Let us create this one when we have our coffee. You see how the texture will be onto the coffee when we are making our latte art. First, let us show you with our cup. So let's purge our milk out, our water. All right. So let us do that one by over putting the knob or the steam yard deep into our milk. It will create less, it will have less air intake into our milk. Let us start and see. These are some of the mistakes. Look, when you are making our latte art, look how it's causing. Look what it's causing. We have the temperature. Ah, this is another effect whereby when you put your your steamer deep into the what? Into the milk. This is another mistake. So let us show you another, the one with which we talked about, the putting the steam yard on the surface of the milk. Let us create another cup. You see how it looks also. So this is another mistake, putting your steam yard on the surface of the milk. Look, on the surface of the milk. How it will be in the latte art. This is what happens when you put on the top of the milk. When you put the steam yard on the surface of the milk, this is what happens. So how do we collect? How do we collect all the mistakes we have seen? So perfect. The first thing, we purge out the excess water into the steam yard. So another thing, knowing the amount of milk and where it should stop. Not putting too much and not putting too less. That will affect also your latte art making. Look where it is stopping. Look where our arc starts from. This is where we position our, like we level up our milk. So look where it's stopping and where it's not too less and not too much. It's almost halfway of the picture. So another thing is positioning. How do we position our steam yard? Look, it should be in the 45 degrees, and it should rotate in the clockwise direction. Other people can rotate it in anti-clockwise. It's also perfect when you put it on your left. So let us try to make it in the right side to rotate the anti-clockwise. Another thing is not putting our steam yard deep into the milk. So and not on top of the surface, but we should balance at least halfway of the mouth of the knob to be at least half into the milk. So by doing this, when we start our steaming, at first let it let us look for the perfect form, the perfect air intake, so and we look for our temperature. Now we're looking for the temperature that's good for our cup. So this is soiling to make the foam combine with the milk. So this is how it looks when it has a perfect steam. So far that's the order of the day. That's how we have made it. So we have tried to make the tea perfect to resolve the three mistakes that people make in steaming. So far, like, these are some of the cups we have tried to make the perfect one, the mistakes, and in the perfect way. So let us try it always to learn and how to do the perfect steaming to have a better cup, because this will affect either the taste of your coffee and the texture of your milk. So always try your best to learn and collect all the mistakes you've been making and have a perfect one. So don't forget to subscribe. That's our YouTube channel, and always share and comment. Thank you so much. Shout out to everyone who comments.